Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And I just thought you had to listen to that little piece of music again because you know what? It's just music to our ears, isn't it? I mean, absolutely fantastic. Um, okay, so I'll get into the show soon. But hi, Rolly, are you okay, mate?
Feeling positively Champions League. What a performance.
Absolutely. Fucking right
I
it is.
thought
Right.
they were defended
Before
really well.
Rolly, yeah, hold that thought to before we get into it. If you do like what you see, please do smash that like. It really does help the channel at the search results. So do smash that like. Thank you very much. Even if I just played that little clip of music, smash it for that. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and join this great community we have here. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live. Have a pre-record or any upcoming shows as well. If you want to become a member, 99p, click the join button. If you want to become a member and if you want to make a donation, you can do that in the chat by clicking on the $sign. Also that way. Right, let's get into the comments first and see what's being said. Biak came in the 5 to 8 and said, "What a great spirit and mentality! One of the toughest places in the world to go, and we fought toe to toe with them. Huge point. Proud to be a Toon fan tonight. Absolutely, mate. Definitely." Clarky says, "We wish it house should be ashamed." He says, "Only joking. Great overall performance considering where we were and what a competition we're in. Absolutely. Bring on PSG. Yeah, that's 2 weeks' time. Can't wait for that one. 2 weeks tomorrow." Ben says, "Hi, Tony and Rolly. How are you? The defence for us tonight were amazing. We tried our best and Longstaff should have scored. And Rolly, are you feeling Champions League?"
Yeah, I certainly am.
Godfather says, "Evening and young Rolly. Chat." That's a
Say
compliment, Rolly.
Say that again.
Young Rolly. Paul says, "Evening, everyone. Good evening, Paul Gordon. I hope you're well. Evening, Tony and Rolly," says Bia. "Good evening to you, Bia." And he says, "Sorry, Uncle Rolly." Holly says, "Hi, Tony and Rolly. What an absolute fabulous performance from our lads today. So proud of them to put up that performance against Milan." Do you know what, Holly? Absolutely fantastic, isn't it? Ian Fleming says, "Evening, Tony and Rolly. Great result for us, I think." Yeah, absolutely. Not going very well for Celtic, is it, Ian? But, a couple of mistakes in that goal, though, wasn't it? I mean, Joe Hart was maybe a little late getting across for the ball, and why you have the small man in the wall who turned his back on the ball as well. It was just a catalogue of errors, really. But can't take anything away.
That guy at the end of the wall hadn't turned. He blocked the shot.
Yeah. Not a 9:30 start tonight. Don't take the piss. And then he went to the pub, says Clarky. Jack193, "Evening all, hope we're well." Yeah, absolutely, mate. Hope you're well too. Clarky says, "Good finish against City." Yes, I just saw that, and it was a tight offside call, but it was definitely onside, that's for sure.
City have equalised.
Hey?
It's 1-1 now.
Yeah, Ian's just put that in the chat there, 1-1. Intro. Three pints is enough, says Godfather. Paul Gardner says, "Did anyone see Smurfy smelling at the start of that match?" Yeah. He couldn't hide his delight, could he? I mean, absolutely brilliant. I'm on 7. Daniela. Hi, Daniela. Hope you're well. She says, "It sounds and reads not a good game, but 0-0 away from home. Anyone would talk it as a point at the end of the day." Absolutely, Daniela. Definitely. And, the Champions League is an elite competition. It's not an easy competition. Not any competition is not easy. In fact, I mean, even the Europa Conference League really isn't an easy competition because you've still got to beat what's in front of you. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. David says, "Hi, Tony. I'm happy with a point." Absolutely. Not stopping yet for a while, says Clarky. Andrew says, "Played with balls of steel versus mature performance. Never looked out of place. Eddie, what a coach. Facts. Very proud of our lads tonight." Absolutely. David says, "Hi. Happy with a point." I think that's StreamYard report. Lewis says, "I'm happy but upset we didn't get the win at the end." Well, it was just one of those things. Just be happy with a point at least. PSG have just scored. Thanks, Ben. Jack says, evening, Tony Rowley. Pope had a way better game, and Longstaff was playing like he plays European Champions League football regular. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jack, doesn't he just? I can't wait to hear the Champions League theme anthem at St James as well. That's only a couple of weeks away now, so you'll hear that. Won't feel like that was as good as it, but I'm flipping buzzing after that. Yeah, you were nervous last night, Gary. PSG 1-up. Lee says, evening, Tony and Rowley. Everyone, great Champions League music. Credit to the mighty Toon Army. What a result. Can't wait to see us playing at home. Not many teams will get a result like that. Absolutely not. Before I forget, says Lewis, I want to send my wishes to the Newcastle fans who got attacked before the game last night. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Lewis. No, the guy,
Safe journey to everyone travelling back as well.
he got stabbed, but he's in a stable condition, which is great. Great news to hear that he's actually on the mend. I hope they get as I said in my video earlier, I hope they get the scumbag who's done this and bring him to justice, because at the end of the day, shouldn't be happening. And there's various reports going around about who the scumbag is, but and we're not going to delve into that because that's obviously a police matter in Italy. But let's hope they catch the scumbag. Lee says this is quite the media now. Yeah, this will quieten the media. Yeah, need 6 and a creator. As January is getting more and more worrying, says Joe Linton. Yeah, but we played all right. Pope's trip's amazing. Murphy's face when Champions League sing come on made my night and day. It did, Paul, absolutely. It was fantastic to see that. Isak and Wilson will suffer with no creators around them. Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Nick Pope was absolutely fantastic, says David. Yeah. Absolutely. Daniela says, as long as you get 3 points at home, you're at least getting third. Remember, small steps. Absolutely. I mean, who knows? We need to watch out for the speedy Mbappe. Well, see how he does at St James's Park. Remember, Antoine Griezmann plays us on FIFA. So, and he's often said to Mbappe, I think he's got Mbappe in his Newcastle team. Jacko93 says, just glad to be where we are ready for the experience and the extra finance for FFP is brilliant. Point away is just the icing on the cake. Absolutely, Jacko, well said. Get well soon, Eddie, says Lee. Get well soon, Eddie.
That's the guy that got stabbed.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah, Eddie Mackay, isn't it? Lewis says apparently it's just rumours. He has just come out of prison, and we know. Yeah, but we don't know. It's rumours, Lewis, and really we don't want to get into that because obviously, at the end of the day, it's a police matter, and as my streams worldwide, I don't really want to, because you could hinder any investigation. So, Gary says Trippier was truly world class tonight. Yeah. Clarky says, can we talk about Rowley looking like Morpheus from the Matrix and the fact he keeps disappearing? The AC Milan fans did amazing cheering for Tonali when he went off. Do you know what? Yeah. I thought they gave him a lovely reception going off, and they had to. It was well deserved because he's done a lot for them. Joe Linton says Minty looks decent. Hopefully next year he can make that right wing his own, but who knows? Yeah. Absolutely. Paul Gardner says Trippier was my man the match, and I thought he was calm and kept everyone calm too. Do you know what, Paul? I've got to agree. I've got to agree, mate, because the thing is, towards the end, when he went in for that tackle, and then not only did he get the ball from the tackle, but he stopped the ball going out of play, and then he got up and carried on. And it was like, do you know what? That's the type of commitment you want to see. Remember, Trippier's got a lot of Champions League experience. He went to the final with Tottenham. He's done well for Atletico Madrid in the competition. Botman's played in the competition. Bruno's played in the competition before, as has Tonali. So, and Cher as well. Cher's played in it because he played for Basel. So, there's a lot of Champions League experience in there.
And now we've got the whole team's got Champions League experience now. Right, only one game, but they've got it now.
And we got a £5 donation from Ian. Thank you very much, my friend. He says Celtic winning 3-0, Tony. Honest, or maybe just wishful thinking. I tell you what, Feyenoord's not a bad side. And that Arne Slot's not a bad manager either. Considering he turned down Tottenham to stay there, and look how well they're playing. So yeah. Did you see Gateshead are winning, Tony? I didn't see that, but if they're winning, that's excellent. Pope was main like, says Paul. If not for him, it could have been embarrassing. Yeah, there's lots of men of the match out there.
Mhm.
Tackle of the season, that was, says Gary, absolutely. I'd say man of the match, Pope, or Trippier second. As without Pope, look, I think it would have been 3-0. Milan just wish Pope didn't have to duck feet with his kicking. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Just let you know the Champions League numbers are in the club shop. Yes, I've saw that this morning. Yeah, it's only for the home shirts at the moment until I get the away ones in. Um, Celtic losing 1-0. Thank God it's coming in. Right. I mean, look, let's get into the match. So the thing is, um, the team sheet come up, quite early today. In fact, obviously I couldn't do a pre-match because I didn't finish work till 4:30. So, but I did a little recording with the team sheet, and then so that was obviously the team sheet there. We saw a couple of changes. Obviously, Isak in for Wilson. We've got the wrong team sheet up there. Sorry, I'll put that one up. There we go. There we go. Isak for Wilson. I apologise, I hit the wrong one. Isak for Wilson. We saw Murphy come in on that right wing. So and we saw Byrne was still playing. Tonali was back in as well. So we sort of thought, yeah, that's not a bad side. That there was no Dubravka on the bench, which was a bit of a surprise. So I don't know what's happened there. Why Dubravka wasn't even chosen on the bench, and because obviously we had Karius on the bench along with Harris, the two goalkeepers. So I'm not sure what is Dubravka injured. We don't know. Or did Eddie Howe not like them pictures Dubravka put up with them with the Man United players, and he's probably thought, right, okay, he's not in the
That's you thinking, Tony, because you don't like him because he has photos with Man United players. That comes into what he's thinking.
I don't. Well, you don't know. I mean, funny things have
No, I
happened. Only
don't
we've
know
seen it
that.
before. You've seen it before at clubs where players, get up to the opposition, and then all of a sudden they're dropped from the squad. So we don't know. But he could just have an injury for all we know.
Yeah, it would have more legs if we're actually playing Man United. So that was an international.
Yeah. So anyway, so the game starts, and obviously I know a lot of people were probably nervous before the game starting, but the game started, and I thought we started pretty well. To be honest, I didn't think we were too bad. Pope was forced into some saves in the first half, which he pulled off some great saves. Rafael Lava, I don't know what he was doing when he got in the box, but he was dancing around as if he was going to. He's trying to beat everybody, and then he went to do a back heel and fell over on his backside. I mean, I just thought, what the hell is he doing? Thank God he did do that, because I mean, I had a visions that he was going to probably either test Nick Pope or score. I mean, look, I thought we controlled the first half okay. Yes, they had chances. We had a 5-minute period where we were sloppy, and Milan had chances to score, Giroud as well. They didn't take them. I mean, look, Giroud's 36, and he's still a huge threat, you know? Got to remember, he used to be a thorn in our side when he played for Arsenal and Chelsea. I just didn't think Gordon got into the game much. He had a couple of goals, but nothing major in the first half. But there wasn't a lot of injury time added on. And when it got to half time, it was like, yeah, I'll take 0-0 at half time, see how we come out in the second half. I thought second half when we came out, we came out a bit brighter in the second half. We sort of took the game to them a little bit. Again, they had chances. Theo Hernandez had chances. Liao tried to do stuff. Obviously that captain got replaced at half time because he got booked in the first half for mouthing off at the referee. Also, if you go back to that first half, Longstaff claim for a push in the box. Yes, he was nudged a little bit, but it wasn't enough to give a penalty. And I don't even think, well, they didn't mention any VAR checks, so maybe VAR just quickly looked at it and thought, well, it's not worth mulling over. But I mean, look, I thought we played quite well in the game. Yes, it was tense in front of their fans. Loftus Cheek seemed to be a threat for, for Milan, and I mean, him and Tonali, the two number eights, they both ran out of steam at the end, and rightly so replaced because they ran their hearts out. And I thought Tonali had a good game for us. Tomori was a rock at the back for AC Milan. Do you know what? I would sign him if I could as a defender for us. I think he'd be great in our defence.
Is he left
Tomori
side
is class.
or right sided tomorrow?
I think he's right, Rawley.
Yeah. Well, maybe
I think
he go to Milan and buy him in the summer.
And Theo Hernandez, I think he looks cracking at left back as well. I was quite impressed with him as well. I mean, yeah, we did give a few stupid free kicks away, but thankfully they didn't lead to any goals. And yeah, at the end we nearly scored as well, didn't we? The keeper pulled off a save. The substitute keeper, that is, because Mike Mining had to go off with an injury, which was a bit strange. I mean, the only difference is if you look at Mining to Pope, when Mining's got the ball at his feet, he looks really, really comfortable. And that's what happens when you've got a top-class keeper like that. Pope, yes, he's not too bad with the ball at his feet at times, but there's sometimes he's really, really suspect. And Celtic have had a player sent off now for a second yellow card. And he's pleading his innocence with the ref. Well, that's not going to work, mate. So you may well just go, or you're just going to end up with a longer ban. But all in all, I thought we played well. I thought it was a gritty performance. I thought we were going to nick it at the end. We nearly nicked it at the end. We were very unlucky. Just looking at that replay, that was definitely a second yellow card, and he had to go. The hand to the face. Yeah. That will be a penalty as well. It's no good protesting it because at the end of the day, it's a definite. Oh, there is a check on the penalty for VAR as well. So for that one. So Ian will be hoping that it gets overturned and Celtic get away with it.
And it's not been overturned.
No. But yeah, all in all, I thought we played really well. We done very well in Milan. To go there into that partisan crowd who were just, it just didn't seem, wasn't much of an atmosphere, I didn't think, from the home crowd. I could barely hear our fans. I could hear our fans a few times, more towards the end as well. But the way their fans were, it just seemed a bit of a weird, a weird
penalty.
Yeah,
no penalty, but Hart saved it.
It just seemed to be, but it like I say, it just seemed to be their fans didn't seem to make. Yes, they made an atmosphere when they got near the goal, but after that, they didn't really do a lot. But no, I thought all in all, it was a great draw against a good Italian side as AC Milan are. And to go to the San Siro and get a draw is fantastic all over. So, well happy with the draw. And I think the boys have done us really, really proud. And the thing is, when we get teams at St James's Park, it's going to be totally different. This penalty might have to get retaken.
No, it's not being retaken.
It's not though, no, because we're on about encroachment, weren't they? But yeah, all in all, I thought was a really good professional performance from us. Look, it's close to say who I want to be his man of the match, but I'm going to go with Pope because I thought the saves he pulled off were great. He kept us in that game. Yes, Trippier was very, very close to being man of the match in my In my opinion, he was very close. But yeah, I thought Pope was absolutely fantastic. The whole team was great. I thought Longstaff was good in the midfield as well. Bruno, he wasn't too bad tonight, but he was still not the Bruno that we know. Dan Burns still a suspect at left back. So yeah, I mean, look, we can pick the bones, but you know what? We're not, because we're really happy to come out of there with a draw. And teams come to St James's Park are going to find it totally different. When AC Milan come to St James's Park, it's going to be a totally different atmosphere for them. Remember, this is Eddie's Howe's first ever game. Looks like Minty has gone off as a sub. But yeah, I mean, look, it wasn't, was it not?
No.
Oh no, they've changed. Yeah, yeah, he has gone off.
Has he?
Yeah, for Linger. Linger's come on. Yeah.
I must miss.
Yeah, I thought it was Minty going off.
Oh, they must have taken 2 off then.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they took 2 off.
I only saw the second.
The ex-Brighton wingers on as well. But yeah, I mean, look, all in all, I thought it was a great, professional, solid performance. That clean sheet against Brentford, now a clean sheet against Milan. Let's go to Sheffield United on Sunday, get another clean sheet and a win. And we've got 2 weeks now before the Champions League again, so we've got a bit of a break. So, let's get focused.
Just have another player sent off.
Yes, I've just seen that. Yeah, wow. Gosh, it's going from bad to worse for them, isn't it? It was a hell of a challenge, wasn't it, though?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can't go in like that.
No. I'll go to some comments and I'll come to you, Rolly. Like I say, the point was absolutely fantastic.
I'm checking it. I can't see them. They're checking the red card, but I can't see them overturning it.
Oh, I don't know. It looks a bit of play acting to me, that.
I call it. So it's the way he dived in. It's reckless.
Yeah.
And he did catch him on the shin.
2-0 PSG now. Trevor Turner, the Leeds fan, says good result for the Toon. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Absolutely. Lewis says it comes out an hour and 15 minutes before kick-off in Europe. That's why I come out early. What do you think of the Champions League kit with more zero? Do you know what? I liked it better because you can see the numbers better. It was more clear, wasn't it? So, yeah. And probably they have to wear it like that, don't they? It's been upheld, that, by the way.
Yeah.
Gary says, I reckon Tonali played his best game for us so far. Amazing considering the circumstances. Yeah, I think he had a great game. Yeah, Tonali did, yeah.
I think a lot of the team played really well.
Are you happy with us being second on the group stage? Do you know what? Yeah, well, obviously PSG are winning now, so, it knocks us down to third. But again, I said to people, nothing to fear. Don't worry about this group. I think the other teams are worrying about us more than anything. Yes, okay, fair enough. Milan might say they should have won that game tonight, but they didn't win it. And we got the draw. So, I think we got the better deal of it. And, you got to think, 2-0 now, Feyenoord. And what you've got to remember is, this is Eddie's Howe's first ever game in the Champions League as a manager. And he probably, when he come out on his career, he probably never ever thought he'd be in the Champions League as a manager. So, so he's come up against elite teams and elite managers. Harris played earlier in the under-19s team. Yes, they got walloped 4-0. But again, the under-19s getting beat like that. The problem is our academy isn't to the standard of the academies of, like, say, AC Milan's, because this goes back down to the previous owner who did not care about our academy. So again, we're having to rebuild on that. So obviously, it might be punishing for them in this under-19s Champions League. Gary says, let's give Miggy a big hand for that interception. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That was brilliant.
Sheehan
Pete.
being disallowed offside.
Yes. Pete, hi Pete, hope you're well. Hope you're having a great holiday in Lanzarote. Definitely take that point. Pope in our defence were outstanding. AC Milan were wasteful. Imagine if Longstaff scored that chance. Yeah, I think if Longstaff hadn't gone down and stayed on his feet and just went for it rather than just worrying about trying to get a penalty, he possibly would have scored. Wayne says, evening, Tony and Rowley. Good evening to you, Wayne. Hope you're well. Paul says, Rafael Leao turned into David Dunn for a few seconds with that trip, didn't he? Just absolutely. Goatfather says Trippier was the best player on the pitch. Longstaff wasn't far off. For them, the guy who tried the backflip. Yeah. Wayne says we weren't much of a threat up front, but we were solid at the back, especially Botman. Fair play, we will take fair point. We will take them home and we will win. Longstaff's shot showed we were still in the game in added time. Yeah, absolutely. He was unlucky, wasn't he? And that was a substitute keeper who got his hand to that. He did well, the substitute keeper. I felt the ref did well overall, but some simple decisions given the wrong way, influenced by the crowd. Yeah, again, that's something that Thomas Frank said about us on Saturday. We influence the referee. I don't think so. Hope the fan gets well soon. Italians coward fun pussies in the war as well. What was that? I think fans were going through the Aerosmith's PA system. Oh, I'll have to mute you. See if that works. Nope. Ian says that Lager Bielk is useless. Paul says I thought Dan Burn played good tonight. He did misplace one or two. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Paul Stones also says passes, but his defensive game was spot on. Barcelona beaten Antwerp 5-0. Rowley's Belgian league favourites. Wayne says great draw for the stand.
I can't let that go without commenting about the quality of the Belgian league.
Wayne says it's a great draw at the San Siro. 7 times Champions League winners. Never mind the other trophies. Poor brilliant Tony got his confidence back. Mint. Absolutely win. We've got some feedback on your side, Rolly. I don't know how, but anyway. Paul said... sorry, I'm going to have to mute you more, Rolly. There we are. Right. Paul's... I'd take a 0-0 draw before it kicked off. I did expect us to test them more, though. Howe needs to sort that because it's not clicking going forward. Do you know what it is, Paul? Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what it is. Isak was coming deep to get the ball and try and do stuff, but are we playing to Isak's strengths? That's the thing. Wilson couldn't do a lot, couldn't get into the game when he came on. There wasn't really, because we just didn't seem to be, so we're going to have to sort that out. This is ridiculous. Give up Celtic crap in the Champions League. I think this game could be the real start to our season. It could be, Gary. It could kick us on now. Absolutely. Daniela says AC Milan, like all the big Champions League clubs, will be used to the hustle environment. Gary says, I'm so happy with the lads tonight. They return home heroes. Absolutely. Evening boy says, Predator. Hope you're both well. Great result for us. Not so good for Milan. Trips man the match for me. What the hell is going on with Celtic? 2 cent off, lol. Celtic for you, innit? Predator. Absolutely. Ian says it there. They are useless. Celtic are. Well, maybe they are useless, but they're again Scottish teams don't do well in Europe, do they? Rory, give us your thoughts on the game.
I thought we played really well. Big game, the biggest game that the club's had.
2-0 Feyenoord.
Yeah, that one will stand as well. It's one of the biggest games we've had in recent years, other than the Carabao Cup final. I felt that the guys dealt with the with the situation. I thought that at the beginning of the first half we controlled the ball right well. We didn't threaten, but I think that's part and parcel to how good defensively Milan were. We never really got any breaks. They defended really well and limited us to basically trying to find something in midfield. We never really clicked. Thought Tonali got behind them a few times. Gordon made a few runs, but they smothered us defensively. I thought that the guys ran themselves into the ground. Say some good goalkeeping by Nick Pope kept us in the game. Could have nicked it at the end. Because the thing that got me about Milan is that attacking wise, when they were sort of building up through midfield and they didn't look that threatening. It's when they're on the break. If we gave the ball and they were breaking, they were lightning. They were always getting 4 guys up on the breakaway. And how they didn't score, that's down to Nick Pope and then some good defending, good blocks. But we did sort of almost lose it a bit defensively at a couple of points when they put a lot of pressure on us, scrambling it away. But overall, I think that the lads have done us proud. I say it's hard to choose man of the match. I think I'd give it to Nick Pope because that was his best performance of the season and it's vintage Nick Pope. Still needs to improve his kicking and distribution, but you don't sort of mind so much when he pulls off saves like that. I thought Trips was excellent. I thought Longstaff was good. He's there's one when he went down in the box, got a little shove. You think, well, maybe he should take a shot, or maybe he's losing his balance anyway when he got the shove. But you think, stay on your feet, Sean. You've got a chance there.
Yeah,
Hit that shot at the end crisply, but it was quite close to the keeper. I thought Tonali was superb. He was dead on his feet when he was taken off. Same with Isak. I thought Jacob Murphy did well. I don't think anyone played bad. We had the periods where we were a little bit sloppy with the ball, a few passes given away, but that happens to every team in every game. There's going to be a period where you're not quite as crisp. But considering the attacking threat that Milan had, there's only one time when I was worried they're going to score, and that's when Leao was dribbling in the box and then tripped over the ball, which I was extremely pleased that he did that.
yes.
But everyone's been moaning recently about Dan Burn, but I thought that he was never really skinned. And he grew in. At the moment, he tends to grow into games. Doesn't start off the best necessarily, but he gets better as the game goes on.
Yeah,
and I thought he did well. I wouldn't say that anyone had a bad game. Overall, looking very satisfied with a draw. A really tough place to go. Now everybody's got some Champions League experience, and we've got the double benefit of that when Yankuba Minter comes back to us, he'll have Champions League experience as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So overall, I'm very, very happy with that result, because at the end of the day, you're looking at our group, it's going to be really tight. So you need to be winning your home games. So if you can go to Milan and get a draw, there's no reason why we can't go to PSG and get a draw, and Dortmund and get a draw or win.
Yeah.
And if we win our games at St James's, you get out of the group.
Yeah, Wayne says I need Celtic to score and win or me bets are
That's the
flat.
plan.
I can't see Celtic scoring and winning this game now. Too far gone now. Yeah, I totally agree, Rolly, and it's been absolutely fantastic. Daniela says this is a sequel. This is one of the sequels, but the first one was a great film. I must be talking to each other about films. Foxy says Wayne. Hi, Foxy. By the way, he says Wayne. Rule number one: don't bet Celtic away in the Champions League. Never ever. You're brave, Foxy, because he is in the chat. Daniela says, talking to people. Gary says, Pope was unbeatable tonight. He
Yeah.
was absolutely fantastic tonight. I thought, yeah, absolutely.
But I think the other thing about when you look at Milan, they had loads of shots. The majority of them was right down Pope's throat.
Yeah.
He did have some ones we had to sort of dive, but a lot of them were straight at him.
Yeah.
He would say the saves that he did have to make, he made them, and some of them were good saves, but quite a lot of them were straight at him as well. So,
Godfather says, just turn off the floodlights at the Celtic game and your bet's fine. And but the odds are better now. Yeah, the odds will be great now because Celtic got no chance of scoring 3 goals in the next 8 minutes plus stoppage time. Paul says, was skinned a couple of times. For me, it was pushing at the centre, but for letting the crosses come into the box. Dan Byrne. I wonder if we'll see Tino and Hall against Sheffield United in order to give Trips and Byrne a break. They must be knackered. Do you know what, Gary? That's a good point. I think there will be rotation.
Yeah.
Not too much rotation, but just enough. Joe Linton says, need at least to win. One away, a big missed opportunity we didn't play today as Milan was poor in front of the goal, but we done nothing offensively. I mean, yeah, Milan didn't take their chances. That's the big issue. But again, we got a draw. Let's be happy with a draw.
I think we did nothing offensively because of how well Milan defended. They never really gave us a sniff.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Ian says he's just telling the truth, Tony. Let's talk about films. Brett says Burden is my biggest concern. Brentford targeted him and the side of the pitch. Got numerous times. Isak wasn't helping out as much, but looked leggy. Burn needs a spell on the bench. Yeah, I mean when they took Gordon off, brought Mickey on. Gordon came off and Wilson came on, and obviously Mickey came on for Murphy. They moved Isak to the left, and I thought this isn't going to work. Isak on the left. And then Bonds came on as well, didn't he? So another player that's played in the Champions League. Paul says off topic, but Xavi Simons was excellent. If you didn't see the highlights, Botman should definitely have a word with him and get him to Newcastle. That's the thing, Paul. PSG, there was a £6 million clause and they activated it. If they didn't activate it, apparently we would have gone in for him because we were hot on the heels for him. But because of this release clause, this buyback clause they had from PSV, then Paris Saint-Germain got him back at a cheap rate. So it's a shame because I would have had him at Newcastle. He's an exceptional player. Is this league format the result is more important than how you get them?
Yeah. And I think Milan will be really disappointed with that result.
To see Melee at the weekend, says Lee. Joe Linton says, I think we'll beat Dortmund at home, but don't know about PSG. But Mbappe said it's a cold northeast of England, isn't it? So he might not want to. He might not want to play. He may have to wear his gloves and his tracksuit bottoms and his fur coat. The group format is getting binned for next season. Said it'll just be all clubs in one big league. Foxy says, missed opportunity for Milan. I'm being honest, they should have scored at least one. No idea what Leao was doing with that back heel. Well, we did well and held on for a point. You know what it is, Foxy? I thought it was hilarious. We tried to back heel and then he fell on his arse, and it was just like comical, wasn't it? It was like, you know, and look, I don't want to go down the route of saying a bit like ESM. We've seen the same with ESM before, where he's tried to do a trick, he's trying to do something and it doesn't work. And I thought he was just trying to walk the ball into the net, and it's never going to happen. Paul says, by the time Isak had to go on the left, he was knackered, coming from deep all the time and having to run back up the pitch. Absolutely. Let's give the lads credit. Never mind misplaced passes. AC Milan threw everything they had at us and we stood firm and nearly sneaked it. Absolutely, Gary. I mean, look at those couple of defensive blocks we've done towards the end as well. You know, where they had shots and they could have scored. So I totally agree. Andrew says, out of all the sides in the group, PSG have the players more likely to open us up, but they'll have to graft for it. Let's make sure we keep getting the points in the other games and we'll be fine. Sadly. They do deserve credit coming away from with a point. It's a great result. Let's be honest, there were things to criticise as well. Yeah, look, we can all have a little bit of criticism. There's nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you know, nobody, you know, there's always going to be something to find in the performance, but we got the job done. You know, we got the point, and it's a great start. Wayne, I think we'll beat Dortmund, but PSG not sure. But as Brian Clough once said, it's a funny old game. Yeah, well, Jimmy Greaves actually said football's a funny old game. He did. Do you know what it is? I'm not worried about PSG, because are they really that good? I mean, look, they got beat off Nice the other night. They've had an indifferent start to the season. Dortmund's had an indifferent start to the season. You know, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
And I think the other thing that makes this result even better is that Milan actually responded well from the thumping they got at the weekend. And I've always thought that they would do that, because it's not nice getting beat by your local rivals, let alone 5-1.
Yeah. Foxy's got a good point there. He says Isak was finished physically from 60 minutes on the left side. He nearly cost us with Milan doubling up on Burn every time and getting crosses into Leao. Leao should have scored with his header. Glad how took Isak off.
When he worked hard, because he's dropping back, because that's the only way he's going to get involved in the game.
Yeah.
Trying to do stuff, but there's going to be games like that for him. But I thought overall he didn't do too bad. I mean, say Callum had the same problem. But there's nothing. That defense of the Lambs was so good. We just didn't get a sniff until really right at the
end. Gary says, Tony, I mentioned last night we weren't playing with confidence. I think this match will cure that 100%. Do you know what it is, Gary? You're absolutely right. I think it will, because it'll give us much needed confidence and absolute confidence boost. So I think it's an absolutely great move. So yeah, it'll be absolutely fantastic. I think Sunday we'll see, you know, we'll go out there and we'll give a good account of ourselves. If we're clinical in front of goal, we should smash Sheffield United. No disrespect to Sheffield United, but we should go out there and absolutely annihilate them. As long as we're clinical enough in front of goal, which will be a big help. So yeah, I totally agree with that one. Andrew says Isak probably should have come off earlier. if anything, to save his legs for the next game. Isak looked tired but worked hard. Milan targeted the left side all night. They knew Burn was the weak point, and Isak blew himself out trying to come back and cover. I don't know what Eddie's understanding is of seeing that. Jacko says, would like to see Isak being fed the ball more instead of tracking back for it. Yeah, I would as well.
No.
I
don't think I had much choice.
3-0.
We're checking for offside. I think he's on. Close though.
Yeah.
Well, the linesman flag. In stoppage time anyway.
Oh, I think he may just be on. Yes, he is just on, I think.
I think they're checking it.
Looking across the lane, yeah, I think he's just on. Yeah, I think he's just on, though. He can't be off.
We'll see what they say.
Well, he can be off, but he just...
It was very close.
I think
there's been ruled out offside.
It has?
Yeah. We'll show the thing on the screen later.
Yeah.
What they did in the World Cup.
Yeah, offside. What's the City score, says Andrew? 3-1 City at the moment. Gateshead are doing well. They're beating Kidderminster Harriers 3-0 at home. And they're fifth now in the National League. There's been a couple of interesting games tonight in the AFL Trophy. Wigan Athletic beat Leicester City under 21 7-1. And Rowley will be happy with this one. Doncaster Rovers won tonight against Everton under 21s 2-0. That'll make Rowley's... that makes Rowley feel a bit better, doesn't it?
They should have beaten the full Everton squad in the Carabao Cup.
And at St James's Park tonight, Exeter City, that's St James's Park, they got hammered off Reading 9-0.
Ooh,
that's a hammering, isn't it? 9-0.
Yeah.
So we've had a 7-1 and 9-0, and we've had Everton losing. We had Fulham under 21s getting beat 5-4 on penalties. Now this is a strange one, right? This is a strange one. They've got Colchester United 0, Tottenham Hotspur under 21s 5. Tottenham Hotspur win 0-0 on penalties. How do you work that one out, Rowley?
Unless they put it up wrong that it was 0-0. And then
you can't win 5-0 on penalties because...
Yeah.
So...
yeah.
The BBC's totally cocked up there, I think.
Yeah, they have cut that up big style.
Sutton United 2, Aston Villa under 21s 2, penalties in progress. Liverpool under 21s won tonight. They beat Morecambe 3-0. The Smoggies are still 1-1 with Sheffield Wednesday. They're struggling this season, the Smoggies are. So, yeah. Southampton are struggling as well. Currently in the Champions League, it's 2-0 to Paris Saint-Germain going into injury time. Obviously, Leipzig beat Young Boys 3-1. Yeah, because when one of the names come up, I think it was I can't remember what the name was now. I think it was Schlager or something like that. And at first I thought it was Shaka. I thought, oh, that's a great name, Shaka. And I thought, oh no, it's not a Schlager. It's got an L on it. So, so yeah, City are winning 3-1. Barcelona 5-0 up. Porto beat Shakhtar Donetsk 3-1. So that's the latest in the Champions League. See, I never really used to be interested in the Champions League, but now we're back in it. I'm more interested in it now. So, yeah.
I know exactly how you feel.
Well, I'm glad, look, under the former owner, we only reached European football once, and then he tried to take us out of that because he went to the FA Premier League and said, "Look, I don't want to be in Europe next season. Can we just drop out of it?" And they went, "Well, no, you can't because you finished fifth." And he said, "But yeah, I don't want to be in the European competition. I don't want to play in Europe. All my focus is to stay in the Premier League, so I want to be out of it." And the Premier League said, "You can't." I mean, that's bad when you hear that the former owner was desperate to get us taken out of the Europa League. It's disgusting, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't expect anything less from that idiot.
No. Isak was not getting the service tonight. Absolutely. Be good if we played a 4-4-1-1 with Isak and Wilson playing, but we didn't get another striker, so too risky to play them together. 3-1 says Ian. Oh, yeah, from Man City. Wayne says, "I think we will smash Sheffield United as well, Tony, and Burnley. Eddie's got to rotate." I tell you what, though, Burnley had a good game against Forest last night, let's be honest. So, yeah, I mean, look, Burnley, we should beat them. But again, we've seen it before. The struggling teams can turn around and beat their teams at the top end of the table. So we don't take anybody for granted. That's for sure. I mean, look, Eddie Howe's press conference yesterday, I thought it was a bit the way the media jumped on it, especially Sky. Oh, Eddie's late for his press conference, and I saw media reports today, which I said on my video earlier. That Eddie Howe should have been there earlier. Why was he training in Newcastle before he went to Milan? He should have done it there. And Eddie said he wanted to train at Benton. And I totally get why he wanted to do it, because why does he want to train on the San Siro pitch when officials from AC Milan can see what he's doing and they can go, "Oh, we know what they're up to for trade. We can see what they're I can report back and say, well, actually, this is how they're playing, this is how they're going to set up." So that's why Eddie Howe didn't want to train over there. And the thing is, when the weather was bad in Milan, and Eddie says that the plane was sat on the tarmac at Newcastle Airport, then, at the end of the day, safety comes first. Safety is paramount. And, it's people's lives you're playing with. And a plane just can't take off and drop. So because it was bad in Milan yesterday, then obviously the planes had to wait until you got the all clear from air traffic control. But it's beggars belief why the media had to pick up on that, and it's just like, why, so what, he was late for the interview. Who cares? And I don't think you will get a fine off UEFA for it, because UEFA look at it and say, well, there's nothing you can do. The weather's controlling the situation, not the team. Brett says, try not to get beaten in Germany games and win the home games, and we'll go through easily. Yeah. Miggy was made a huge tackle near the end. It was a good outlet when he came on. Yes, he was. That tackle when he put it out for the corner was fantastic. Another thing I was interested with Eddie to hear yesterday as well. A reporter said, "Oh, Callum Wilson hasn't trained for a couple of days. Is he injured?" And Eddie Howe says, "No." He says, "That's how I manage Callum Wilson." So now we do know Callum Wilson doesn't train for a couple of days, and then he does training, and that's how he's keeping him fitter longer. Makes sense. An Italian journalist asked Eddie if he would ever manage abroad, and Eddie said, "I've got no plans to manage abroad," but he says, if the opportunity ever come up in the future, who knows? And I thought, that's very interesting. But he paid tribute to Maurizio Sarri, who he stood on a touchline with at Empoli, and said he learned a lot from him. So again, it just goes to show this, it's a good way to learn as a manager. If you're willing to learn and go and see other managers and learn from them as well, then it just shows you, a lot more managers should do that, instead of when they do get sacked, just sit on their backsides and do sod all. like Steve Bruce waiting for his next kebab. Gary says, Isak was playing for the team, grafted his bollocks off, give him a break. Absolutely, Gary. He did well. Tomori is an absolute beast. No one can get past him. Southgate needs to sort this out. Absolutely, Foxy. How on earth Maguire gets ahead of Tomori is beyond me. I would have Tomori at Newcastle without hesitation. I would have Tomori at Newcastle. I don't know how much Milan would want for Tomori. I don't know. Seeing that, I don't know if he's got a sell-on clause as well with from Chelsea. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, look, Tomori. Gosh, yeah. Fikayo Tomori, I would definitely have him. Definitely. He's 25. He's right-footed. He's been absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I would have Tomori because everything we tried to do, Tomori was there to stop it. Isak wasn't a problem. He just blew himself out, covering Burn and having to come back to get the ball. Absolutely. Even in Endo, who Liverpool, if we got him, would have helped load someone just sitting in front of the defence doing the basics. 3-0 PSG. Come on Gateshead City are untouchable at Class Act, says Wayne. They're doing well on.
It's 2-0 PSG, not 3. So must have had.
Ramos. Goal disallowed, still 2-0.
No.
That's why. So it was 3-0, but it wasn't. We're unbeaten in the Champions League, says Gary. Happy, positive, we'll get there. Yeah, you were nervous last night, Gary, but I bet you're a lot happier now, mate. I think we should still be okay till then. Yeah, absolutely. How many points should we have by January, lads, says Joe Linton. Jeez, I don't know. It's a long way away yet, January. Lots of football to be played. I don't know. I can't give you an answer on that one at the moment, I'm afraid.
I don't even know who we're playing between now. Which all the games coming.
Watching them defend like that tonight, I'm definitely positive, Gary, mate, and very happy. But I think Eddie has to look at the game and see the weaknesses and hopefully fix them. I'm sure he will, Predator. Yeah.
We know how he analyses every game, so he'll be working on that when they get back to Newcastle.
Yeah. For sure, we're all in uncharted territory. When did the 2.5 rotation issues? We'll learn and grow. This is new for everyone concerned. Absolutely, Gary. 100% correct. Jake says, hello. Hi, Jake. Hope you're well, mate. I love Eddie. Never had a bad word to say about him. Always backed him, but he needs to have more confidence in rotating his side. I mean, we have quality players, but you need to give a chance. Yeah, absolutely, Wayne.
Yeah. It's nice to see him give Murphy a chance.
Yeah.
I thought he did well.
I think that shocked everybody, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to you, Rolly. I'm sure he watches everybody's streams and then says, I'm going to just throw a spanner in the works. I'm telling you now, Rolly. I'm sure he does.
Yeah. I mean,
I'd love to get Eddie Howe on here.
The thing about that is that Murphy was in the starting lineup, and people were surprised, but no one was saying, "Oh, why has he put him in there? He's useless." No one was. I don't think anyone was worried that he was starting. We're just surprised.
Foxy says, think we can beat Dortmund both games, which then means we only need 3 points from Milan at home or the 2 PSG games. Obviously, easier said than done. Dortmund aren't that great. Because a lot of people are saying, Dortmund. I'm like, they're not that great. Predator says, for sure, Gary, I'm concerned with what I saw with Brentford and Milan tonight, but with Burn being targeted, we've spent good money on players and haven't even come off the bench yet. Hall needs to get a start.
It depends.
Goalkeeper scored for Lazio, says Ian.
The thing you've got to remember about Hall is that he didn't play at all in pre-season. So it's about getting him fit. to the required levels to play in a Newcastle team. He'll
Joe
get
Linton
time.
says, if Hall doesn't play against City in the Cup, then I don't get it, because he should be fit by then. He is fit, it's just match sharpness, that's all. Endo sucks. Ronald says, had to listen to 5 Live being in hospital, but draw from home is good in the Champions League. Yeah, I hope you're fine, mate. Get well soon, Ronald, by the way. And yeah, not the prettiest of games, but you know what? We've got a draw, and that's all that matters, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm positive he'll start Tino and Hall against Sheffield United, says Gary. Yeah, do you know what? That's not a bad shout, that. What do you think to Sheffield United? Do you think you'll start with Hall and Livermore?
I'd be surprised. It might start one of them.
Yeah.
I really don't know what he's going to do, because no one does. But I mean, they've both been on the bench since they've got here, so maybe he'll give them a bit part.
Yeah. Eddie Howe spoken. He says, you can't underestimate the difficulties of coming here, the emotion of the game, new experiences. We had to take a lot on board today. He says, I thought the crowd were very good for Milan. It's a hostile atmosphere, and the players had to adjust to that. And that is why I don't think you can underestimate the performance and the point. It will look better and better as time goes on. There will be new experiences for us, for a lot of us tonight, and hopefully we can grow on from this. So that's what Eddie Howe's had to say. Also, he's gone on to say Nick Pope was outstanding today. He says he was excellent against Brentford as well. And it's no coincidence, 2 big displays from him, 2 clean sheets, absolutely crucial for us as well. So there you go. I mean, that's what Eddie Howe's had to say, so he's pretty happy. And that'll just breed confidence. Clean sheets breeds confidence as well.
Yeah.
Bretta says Rory Hall played for Chelsea in pre-season. He had minutes in his legs. Didn't play a lot though, did he? Trippier, the best player on the pitch, says Jake. I've gone for Pope. Hall played City in the cup game for Chelsea last year, and he was great, says Joe Linton. Yeah, he played against us last season. I thought he had a good game against us as well.
He's a good player. He's going to be a really good player.
That was the night when the game finished. Kai Havertz decided to square up to Dan Burn. Because he didn't. Because there's that rivalry, isn't there? Big respect to Antwerp tonight, says Foxy, for letting Barcelona win. What a place, what a country Belgium is. They'll take the Champions League serious in match day too. Maybe nice not any minutes, but he did get some game time. Wayne says, "I Foxy, you're right. Dortmund are the weakest side in the table." A lot of people are going for Trippier man in the match, but yeah, as I say, my man of the match is this guy Nick Pope, without a shadow of a doubt. Who's your man of the match?
Yeah, I'm going for Popey as well.
You're going Popey as well, yeah. Yeah, he did come very close though, Trippier, didn't he? But yeah, for me,
I mean, it's a toss-up between the two. And then, I thought Longstaff was excellent. I thought Tonali was good. I thought Bruno. If you say Bruno wasn't up to his normal standard, that's because he wasn't allowed to play. pulling his shirt, pulling him down all the time.
Yes, there were, weren't there?
I don't think there's anyone that actually had a bad game.
No, I don't think anybody did have a bad game, no.
Which is good.
It was a hostile atmosphere there.
Yeah.
But I thought it was class when the clapped Tonali off, especially every corner of the ground did. And I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
Because no matter how much they think about Tonali leaving, you know, he'd done a lot for them when he was there.
Yeah, he's one of them. I mean, as he said in his, they had an interview with Tonali, saying that he was asked about Milan and we supporters as well. When we play tonight, I'll be professional, but after that, I'll be a rabid Milan fan.
Yeah. That tackle will live long in memory. Trips for me, says Ian. Pope man the match. Class saves from Pope, says Lee. Trippier was quality, says Wayne. Plenty of Champions League experience. Botman was my man the match. World class at reading the game. Absolutely solid. Prater says Milan were constantly pulling the shirts. I'm surprised that VAR never caught it because they weren't exactly subtle about it. Yeah, there was a lot of shirt pulling, wasn't there?
Yeah,
trying to get Isak's shirt off his back.
And then there's one where Murphy's driving into the box and the guy basically dragged him down by his shirt.
Yeah.
Didn't get anything.
Wayne says Pope man the match. Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, all in all, it's been a great night for us. It's been a great point as well. And onwards and upwards. And we got Sheffield United at the weekend. So let's hope we can go into that game and win again in the Premier League and get ourselves back up that table. And I'm sure we'll be up in that top four within no time. Rolly, do you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Pole67.
Oh, lovely, thank you. So coming up on the channel this week, obviously tomorrow's Wednesday, so it'll be our usual Wednesday show, which is the Premier League predictions, and we'll look at the games at the weekend and try and predict the scores. So, and that's great for everybody in the chat because they can come on and have their say who they think what the score will be on the weekends. Thursday we'll do a Sheffield United preview, and hopefully I'll have a Sheffield United fan on, so hoping for that one. So I'll sort that one out if I can. I might try and get the same lad I had on when I done a show when I done a welcome to the Premier League. Travelling Blade was his name, and he was a nice lad. So I'll see if I can get him on. If not, I'll get somebody else on. And that's it for now. And then obviously there might be other shows like Friday, Saturday, but definitely Sunday there'll be the pre-match show as well. So lots to look forward to on the channel this week. But definitely the dates for your diary, definitely for tomorrow night. It's the Premier League predictions as usual, and also the on the Thursday it will be the preview for the Sheffield United game on Sunday at Bramall Lane, which is live on Sky. Don't forget to smash the likes. Everyone's been a great show. Tony Nolly, thanks very much, Lee. Can't really have two or Pope then. Good night, lads and lasses. Nolly on the next one. Take care, everyone. Yeah, night, Predator. Ian says, great show, guys. Come on the tune. Celtic, forget it, lol. Yeah, you too, mate. Yeah, sorry Celtic didn't win, but at least we got a draw, mate. Great show, lads, as always, says Wayne. Yeah, thanks very much, Wayne. Thank you very much indeed. Just remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white, as the motto always goes. But as I say, if you have enjoyed what you see, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel up the surge. And also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community we have here. And that bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. So all that leaves me to say is it's bye-bye from me.
That's goodbye from me.
How are the lads?